The last thing she heard was her own heartbeat. It filled her ears like a war drum, then silence. No one saw her go, not the neighbors, not the security cameras, not even her dog. She walked into the woods behind her house at 6:43 p.m. She never came back out. This isn't just another missing person case. This disappearance cracked open a town. It exposed secrets decades in the making, and it revealed how thin the line is between safety and horror. One woman vanished, but thousands were left wondering, could this happen to me? Her name was Claire Whitmore, 42 years old, a high school biology teacher, lived alone in a quiet suburb of Portland, Oregon, taught for 17 years, always smiled at her students, even on Mondays. She had a rescue, golden retriever named Scout. They took walks every evening, same trail, same time. People noticed when they stopped seeing them. Claire's sister called after 3 days with no reply. Left voicemails, sent texts, no answer. Scout barked non-stop from the backyard. The front door was locked. No signs of forced entry. Police found her coffee mug still warm in the sink, her phone charging on the counter. Keys on the hook by the door, but Claire and Scout were gone. No note, no argument, no warning, just absence. Detectives treated it as a possible abduction, but there was no evidence of struggle, no fingerprints but hers, no footprints in the mud, only one clue, a single muddy footprint near the tree line, size 10 women's shoe, pointing into the woods, not out. Search teams combed the forest for weeks. Drones scanned the canopy. K9 units followed scent trails. Nothing. No blood, no clothing, no body. Just that one footprint. And a growing sense that something was deeply wrong. Because Claire didn't run. She wasn't depressed. She paid her bills, had plans for summer vacation, booked a trip to Hawaii with her sister, tickets unused. Hotel reservation canceled automatically. Life moving forward, until it didn't. Then, 3 months later, a jogger found something buried under leaves near a creek bed. A leash, Scout's leash, blue with yellow bones, tag still attached. The police confirmed it was his, but no sign of the dog or Claire. The leash changed everything. It meant they hadn't escaped. They were taken, or worse. And the woods knew. They always did. Back in 1987, another girl disappeared, Emily Tran, 17 years old. Last seen riding her bike home from work. She worked at a diner on Route 26, closed up at 9 p.m., never made it home. Her bike was found abandoned, basket still full of work clothes, lunchbox untouched. Parents waited all night, called hospitals, filed a report by sunrise. Search began the next morning. Same woods, same search pattern, same results, nothing, no body, no leads. Case went cold, but not forgotten. Older residents remembered. Teachers mentioned her in class sometimes, as a cautionary tale. Don't walk alone, don't trust strangers, stay off the trails after dark. But people forget, especially when nothing happens for years. Now, Claire was gone, and Emily's name resurfaced. People started talking, connecting dots. Was there a link? 2 women, same location, decades apart. Both vanished without a trace, except for that leash and the footprint. Detective Mark Reyes led the investigation. 30 years on the force, specialized in missing persons. He'd seen grief up close too many times, but this case felt different, personal. Maybe because Claire reminded him of his daughter. Same age, same laugh, same way of tilting her head when listening. He read every page of her file, studied her routines, talked to her co-workers, students, friends. Everyone said the same thing. Claire was kind, organized, predictable, which made her disappearance more jarring. Why break routine? Why go into the woods unless someone made her? Reyes requested satellite imagery, checked traffic cameras along the route. Nothing. No car matching her description leaving, no suspicious vehicles. But then he found something, a blur, on a gas station camera, 3 blocks from her house, time stamped 6:55 p.m. Same day she vanished, a dark SUV, plate partially obscured, driver wore a hoodie, face hidden, passenger seat empty. But in the back, something moved. Under a blanket, small, dog-sized, could be Scout. Reyes froze the frame, zoomed in, enhanced, the blanket shifted, an ear poked out. Golden fur. He checked Scout's adoption records. Distinctive marking, patch over right eye. Same shape, same color. It was him. Someone took the dog too, meaning this wasn't random, it was planned. They knew about Scout, knew her habits, her schedule. They watched her. For how long? Reyes ordered a canvas of nearby homes. Looked for any other cameras, found one, mounted above a garage, pointed toward the alley. Got a clear shot of the SUV turning onto Oak Street. Same model, same dark tint, plate now visible, registered to a shell corporation, fake address, burner company. Common tactic. but the name stood out. Willow Creek Holdings. Sounded harmless, like a real estate firm, but no records anywhere, no website, no tax filings, dead end, or so it seemed. Then a tip came in from an elderly man, lived on the edge of the forest, said he saw lights deep in the trees. Night, Claire disappeared, flashing like signals or Morse code. Police searched the area, found tire tracks, fresh, led to an old logging road. Overgrown, not used in years, followed it half a mile, ended at a rusted gate. Chained shut, sign, private property, no trespassing. Behind it, a compound, abandoned buildings, roofs caved in, windows shattered, but power lines ran to it, lights inside, motion sensors, cameras. Someone lived there or used it regularly. Reyes got a warrant. SWAT team breached at dawn. Now, one Lloyd cleared each structure. One by one, dust everywhere, rotting furniture, empty cans, but clean. Too clean, no fingerprints, no DNA, no personal items, except one room, locked. Steel door, required a keypad, code unknown. Team blew the lock, entered slowly, flashlights cutting through darkness. Room was sterile, white walls, metal table, straps on it, handcuffs, goggles, hoses connected to a tank, cuffs, goggles, hoses connected to a tank. Medical equipment, but outdated. From the 80s, files stacked in cabinets, names, photos, dates, victims, Emily Tran, entry date October 14, 1987, status active, Claire Whitmore, entry date May 3, 2023, status active, more names, 18 total, all women, all missing, all last seen near those woods, oldest from 1979, youngest just 16, disappeared in clusters, every 10 to 12 years, pattern emerging. This wasn't a person, it was a system, an operation, hidden in plain sight. The files contain notes, handwritten, detailed, behavioral observations, sleep patterns, reaction to stimuli, nutrition intake, psychological evaluations, like experiments, inhumane, illegal, impossible, but real. Each subject assigned a number, not a name. Subject 7, Emily Tran. Subject 18, Claire Whitmore. Location logs, movement tracked, some listed as terminated, others in progress. Terminated didn't mean dead, it meant recycled, disposed, erased. But where? Reyes dug deeper, found a tunnel beneath building C, reinforced concrete, ventilation shafts, light at the end. Team descended, gun drawn, heart pounding. Tunnel opened into a larger chamber, lab tables, monitors, surgical tools, autoclave, freezers lined the wall. One open, inside, bone fragments, teeth, hair samples labeled. Subject 1, Subject 2, Subject 3, up to Subject 11. 11 women confirmed dead, their remains stored like lab rats. Reyes felt sick, angry, helpless. Who did this and why? Then they found the control room, wall-to-wall monitors, feeds from across town, gas stations, feeds from across town, gas stations, schools, parks, homes, including Claire's backyard. Live footage, her house, empty, but someone was watching, still watching. Camera panned to the ceiling. A small red light blinked. Active. They were on camera too. Reyes turned slowly, looked into the lens, spoke directly. "We know what you've done. No place is safe. You're finished." Static. Screen went black. Every monitor died. Lights flickered. Then silence. Team regrouped, bagged evidence, took the files. Reported to command. FBI brought in. Task force assembled. Media exploded. Headlines nationwide. Secret lab found in Oregon forest. Women held for decades in human experiments. Serial abductor, still at large. Public panic. Parents kept kids indoors. Neighbors formed patrols. Volunteers searched daily. But the mastermind was gone. Vanished. Like smoke. Only one clue remained. In Claire's file, a footnote. Subject shows elevated serotonin response, possible genetic marker, compared to original. Original? Who was original? Reyes searched the database. Found a reference. Subject 0. Name, Eleanor Voss. Born, March 12, 1950. Abducted, July 1979. Status, deceased. Cause, system failure. Man 1979. Cubast, just or genetic. Age at death, 29. But beneath it, a handwritten note. She was the first, but not the last. She gave us the blueprint. And her daughter carries the gene. Daughter? Eleanor had a child? Records showed she gave birth in captivity, November 1978. Baby girl, named Clara. Father unknown. Infant transferred to foster care. Adoption sealed. Identity protected. But Reyes had a hunch. Claire. Similar names. Same state. Same age range. He pulled Claire's birth certificate. Mother, Eleanor Voss. Father, unknown. Adopted at 6 months. Raised by Richard and Diane Whitmore. They told her they were her biological parents. Never spoke of her origins. Claire didn't know. She had no idea. She was Subject O's daughter. The blueprint. The key. That's why she was taken. Not random. Targeted. Her genetics. Her bloodline. The experiment continued. Through her. Reyes realized they weren't just collecting data, they were breeding, selecting traits, looking for something, immunity, longevity, enhanced cognition, whatever it was. They believed Claire held the answer because of her mother, and now she was back in that lab, alive, being studied. Again, the task force scrambled, reanalyzed all evidence, focused on staff, past employees, security personnel, anyone with access. Then a name surfaced. Dr. Alan Finch, neurologist, worked at Portland General Hospital, 1975 to 1982, specialized in experimental therapies, fired after ethical violations, human trials without consent. Subjects reported memory loss, hallucinations. One died. Finch denied wrongdoing, left quietly, moved away. Trail went cold. Until now, a neighbor recalled seeing him. Years ago, living in a cabin near the woods, quiet man, kept to himself, didn't socialize, vanished around 1990, assumed dead, but property taxes paid, through an LLC, guess which one? Willow Creek Holdings. Finch was alive, and in charge. At 85 years old, still running the program, driven by obsession. Belief that he could perfect the human mind, eliminate fear, control emotion, create a new species. His words from an old journal, recovered from the compound. Fear is the enemy of progress. Remove it. And humanity evolves. He saw abductees as test subjects, not people, tools, to achieve transcendence. And Claire, she was special. High serotonin. Intelligent, exactly what he needed. To finish his life's work, Reyes knew time was short. Finch wouldn't keep her forever. Once data was extracted, she'd be terminated. Like the others, they had to move fast. Got a drone, scanned the forest, thermal imaging, looked for heat signatures, found one, remote cabin, off-grid, solar panels, generator hum. Heat inside. 2 people, 1 stationary, 1 moving. Bedroom, living area, kitchen, the still figure in a chair, bound, sedated, could be Claire. The other was older, slow movements, walking with a cane, could be Finch, team mobilized, helicopter en route, ground units closing in. Reyes led the charge, rifle ready, heart racing. They reached the clearing, surrounded the cabin, no alarms, no defenses, too easy, breached the door, shouted commands. Hands up! Silence! Entered. Room dim. Smell of antiseptic. Old books. Coffee. Finch sat at a desk, writing. Didn't flinch. Didn't resist. Just looked up. Calm. Eyes sharp, despite his age. About time you arrived. Reyes aimed his weapon. Where is she? Finch nodded toward a hallway. Second door. Don't rush. She's been through enough. They found Claire. Alive. Thin. Claire. Alive. Thin Claire. Pale. Wearing a hospital gown, sitting upright, eyes open but distant, unfocused, IV in her arm, monitor beside her, brainwave readings, pulse ox. She turned slowly, saw Reyes, whispered, Scout? Reyes shook his head. I'm sorry. She closed her eyes. Tears fell, not screaming, not angry, just exhausted, broken, but alive. Medics rushed in, stabilized her, took blood. Medics rushed in, stabilized her. Finch was arrested. No resistance. Sat quietly during processing. Asked only for a book and tea. At trial, he refused counsel, represented himself, defended his actions, called them necessary sacrifices, said future generations would thank him. The court was horrified. Jury took 2 hours, guilty on 18 counts of kidnapping, murder, conspiracy, sentenced to life without parole. He died in prison 8 months later. Stroke. No last words, just silence. Claire recovered slowly. Physically, emotionally, harder. She remembered pieces, the van, the drugs, the tests, being watched, questions, pain, but also moments of clarity. She fought, bit a guard, refused to speak, destroyed a data drive, small rebellions. They mattered. She survived because she was strong, because her mother's legacy wasn't just science. It was resilience. Claire returned to teaching. 6 months later, students welcomed her back. She didn't talk about what happened, not yet. Maybe never, but she changed, more present, more compassionate, started a support group for families of the missing, spoke at conferences, advocated for better tracking, stronger laws. She found peace, not forgetting, but living. That was victory. As for Scout, never found. But some say, on quiet nights, if you walk near the woods, you hear barking, far off. Happy, running free. Maybe he escaped, maybe he's waiting. Either way, he's not forgotten. This story isn't just about monsters, it's about survival, about how evil can hide. In plain sight, behind smiles, behind institutions, behind science, and how ordinary people can become heroes by enduring, by speaking up, by refusing to vanish. Claire did that, and so can we, if we pay attention, if we listen, if we remember. Evil thrives in silence, but courage echoes, it spreads, it lasts. So next time you see something strange, a car idling too long, a light in an empty house, a person who doesn't seem right, a person who doesn't seem right, a person who doesn't seem right, don't look away. Say something, ask questions, be the one who notices, because the next Claire could be your sister, your daughter, your friend, and she might not come back unless someone cares enough to act. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like this video.